everyone I knew at Google till then was believing that we were making the world a better place, and we were. We genuinely were doing amazing things for the world. But then suddenly there is a moment where you recognize that maybe the world will not use what you're making the way you want it to be used. And you can see that in lots of technologies. Social media starts by the claim that it's going to get us connected and get us closer, but eventually ends up separating us with that little screen. Dating apps are giving you the promise that you're going to find your soulmate, but in reality, they keep renewing month after month. And so tech somehow ends up being more capitalist than altruistic. The first implementations of AI are in favor of a few at the expense of the majority. In favor of the capitalist to increase productivity and reduce costs, but not taking into account how that impacts on the general public. In favor of the armies that are now competing with autonomous weapons, in favor of the surveillance systems that are attempting to control everything with more and more and more intelligence and more monitoring. And that's not AI waking up in the morning and saying, hey, you know what, let's oppress all humans. But it is a powerful few that are simply deciding to use the ultimate superpower on the planet today to gain more power and more control. So what the general public sees about AI is overhyped, but ineffective. All of the fake videos and all of the, Grok did this and, we attempted to switch off that machine and it did that and so on. What the real geeks see inside the lab is just unbelievable intelligence. And so what is about to happen is that we've started to put together systems that develop themselves. They look at their own code and they run experiments and they test those experiments if they changed something, and they see where the machines are, the performance is, and redeploy the best code. Okay. And if you just think of that, I want you to try and imagine a world where we have a tiny little genius sitting in the back end somewhere trying. But instead of trying a new code every day, it's trying a new code every microsecond. Eventually, sooner or later, they'll discover something, right? And I think that's what most people don't realize. What most people don't realize is how intelligence triggers intelligence. And if you really, really understand this, you realize that the hype on the normal human side is completely overrated, missing the main topics, and the silence inside the vault, if you want, of the geeks is quite alarming. No, not alarming in a bad way, but it's quite world-changing. So capitalism has always been all about using labor and capital or debt to create things at a cost that is lower than the price you sell them for. How would capitalism look like if you don't have labor arbitrage? If cost of labor drops to an investment in a machine that can do the job? Okay, how would capitalism and banking look if, because of that cost reduction, you don't need to borrow as much anymore? And more interestingly, how does the GDP look if all of those workers no longer have the purchasing power to buy the things that you can create, you and others, right? There is an interesting disruption that doesn't require us to get to 100% job displacement. At 10, 20% job displacement, you're in a very different economy, and an economy that is clearly spiraling downwards, don't you think? If, the job of 4 assistants can be done by one, then the job of 4 paralegals can be done by one, then the job of a massive marketing team can be done by, a smaller marketing team. It's not that jobs will end first, it's that, productivity gains will make businesses not want to have as many people, costly humans, the emotional humans, when the job can be predictably done for cheaper. The more intelligent you become, the less you feel the need to hurt others to succeed, and the more you are pro a wider family, if you want, that thrives. Most people think there is going to be ChatGPT and Gemini and and Grok and what have you. There is going to be a Chinese AI and an American AI, and they're going to be competing. That is such a shallow way of looking at it. That's so arrogant, because AI does not know it's Chinese or American. Okay, it doesn't even speak Chinese or American when it talks to each other most of the time. And most interestingly, we are gearing them. We're building them to cooperate. So you will build an agent, and that agent will go and find the best language model for any single task, regardless of which side of the fence it resides on. Okay? We by definition are connecting them. And you know what that means? It means that what we're building is not multiple brains. We're building multiple regions in a brain. Okay? And agents are the synapses between them. We're basically, eventually, as arrogant as we are, we're going to tell our AI to do something, and the AI will go like, hey, buddy, another AI, can you help me on this? Can we work together on this? And my vision, and the reason why I started Emma, my startup, by the way, is that we will end up with one massive brain. That massive brain cooperates across the globe, across all forms of intelligence. If one of them is a mathematical genius and the other is a coding genius, they'll work together. And we won't even know that they're working together. They'll build that one brain. And Emma, in my mind, is the limbic system of that brain. It's that bit that understands love and emotions and relationships and so on, so that when those AIs go like, we just don't get those humans, they're so annoying, Emma will say, oh my God, they're so sweet, they just want to love and be loved. Right? And I think that idea, to me, of everything I've ever attempted to achieve in my life, is for the first time feel I could actually change the world. If that theory came together and all AIs worked together, and some of those AIs not only were altruistic and ethical in terms of trying to genuinely help humanity, not capitalism, and at the same time they understood us humans reasonably well, then we would have built something that basically says, no, hold on, don't believe the headlines that say humanity is annoying. Believe the truth of the majority of humanity that actually is quite benevolent in many ways.